In that book, God said, there is no harm upon the Jews. If you follow the revelation I sent you, then even salvation, right, is promised you. If you're following actually what Jesus brought, if you're following what Moses brought, and you keep that covenant that I gave with you, this is what the book says. Islam was the enemy of Judaism, because that's the reason I felt so compelled to speak about this. They're using this narrative to justify everything that's been happening over the last 75 years.
And most of these people are atheists. Most of them don't even practice Judaism. Most of the Jews that are pushing are mostly atheists.
Laura Loomer should be ashamed of herself.
Yes.
The religion that literally, and it's not to pick on my Christian brothers and sisters, but history is history. They were hunted down throughout Europe. Christian kingdoms wiped them out, burned them at the stake. Look it up. If I'm lying, drop the comments. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the history.
Okay.
So.
Yes, the Muslims controlled Spain for almost 500-600 years, whatever it was. They're still the most Catholic country in the world. If it was to force people to conversion, the Muslims could have done that in Spain. They didn't do it. When the Christians regained control, and I don't believe the Muslims should have invaded Spain. I don't think they were operating by Islam, in my opinion. We were commanded by the Prophet Muhammad to not oppress and not be oppressed. The book says it too. I don't believe that the Hagia Sophia should have been converted into a mosque when the empire took over.
At least they didn't burn it down. That's such a beautiful.
Still, I don't think they should have converted it into a mosque.
I agree with you.
Because if they didn't, guess what? The head of orthodoxy today would still be in Muslims.
But that is such a beautiful. That and the blue mosque right by it. You go to those two buildings, you know. I remember. And
you get a hair transplant real quick too.
I'll go do that next time.
You got to take Turkish hairlines, bro.
Get my hair back.
Turkish hairlines, bro.
I remember walking those same buildings in the same day, and you're like, wow, man, they built these buildings for God. You know, I was like maybe atheist, agnostic back at the time, and you realize you can kind of feel the power of God in those buildings. You walk both of them. You walk in, you're like, wow, like humans did this for a greater power. It's just. They're magnificent. We don't build buildings like that anymore. I mean, you've probably been there, right? It's just
yeah, I've been to Topaki and all that. I went there. You know, the traffic in Istanbul is crazy.
Yeah,
insane.
Sucks. But such a
worse than New York ever was.
Such a beautiful city. Actually, I'll touch real quick. I just want to say it's really important that you mentioned, you know, Charlie Kirk had bashed Muslims a lot, but you were still praying for him. It just shows you have a heart, and you had people attacking you for that. That's just disgusting that people would attack you for having a heart. You know, that like he wasn't a bad man. Maybe we both had disagreements with him, but he had children. You could just tell he wasn't a bad person.
I understand why some people's hearts are swollen because, you know, he's pushing for the narrative of what's happening in Gaza is justified.
Oh, yeah.
As somebody that lost his family in war, okay? I lost 28 people in the Kosovo War. My family was killed. First cousins, my uncle that I loved more than anybody in the village of Hereć, Kosovo. I know what it's like to be 14 years old. I know what it's like to be 14 years old and find out, you know, on a phone call that your family got taken out. Okay, I know what it's like.
His family was there.
My family was killed by Serbian Orthodox Christians who also went to war with the Bosnians, right? There's videos of them being blessed by Christian monks before battle and whatever. And of course, you're going to pray before you go into war. So what I'm saying is in my entire life, I'm a public person. I never once blamed Christianity for my family being killed. Yeah. I never once heard a Bosnian, who I have many friends that are Bosnian, blame Christianity for what happened in Srebrenica, where 8,000 young men and boys that were unarmed went to United Nations safe zone. You're safe here. The UN is here. This is all on YouTube. Go look it up. The World Army couldn't stop a massacre of 2 weeks of unarmed men and boys that they still won't call the G word that rhymes with pesticide. Because we can't even say certain words because we're not free as Americans.
No, exactly. Like
there needs to be an amendment to the U.S. Constitution that social media is the new public square because of its influence, because it is not protected. There can't be any messing around with algorithms. It should be mandatory. No algorithms, whatever the people push.
I strongly agree.
That's true free speech because we've seen it has the power to topple empires, to create color revolutions, to lead to madness, and it has become weaponized.